Little two-part video. The Final Fantasy 16 topic is the main topic, but I wanted to start with this because it's so crazy. So in Vegas, this dude right here decided he was going to try to get some easy money, so he went to a convenience store with this. Now, in case you don't know what this is from the Nintendo Entertainment System games, and it's a game called Duck Hunt. I think it had its own game, or its own release, but from what I remember, it was packaged with Super Mario Brothers, the first one, and this was the only game you could use with it. I think there were some other games that used it, but I don't think there were many. It's mostly famous for Duck Hunt. And he painted it black and tried to hold up a convenience store with it. He took $300 from the register, but he's still an idiot and got caught. This is the alleged gentleman here. Of course, has purple-blue hair. And he was wearing a mask and a wig and a hooded sweatshirt. And that is the story. I'm assuming it's a he. I think it is. That's what they're using in the story. So this is the weapon. Idiot thinks this is going to get him less time. I think in most places, right, a fake gun is still considered a real gun when it comes to the charges. They don't discriminate. So if you rob a place with a fake gun, you're still going to get charges as if you were using a real one. The little red thing, you should have painted that too. That's such a dead giveaway. I'd have laughed if I saw this, but how many people know what this looks like anymore? I don't know. Anyway, I thought this was funny. Sitting in jail now, he'll sit in there for 10 years. But anyway, let's get to the main story. Final Fantasy 16, big game coming out soon. Apparently, Square Enix is a little upset, a little panicky about the pre-order numbers for Final Fantasy 16. Because apparently, they're not as strong as Final Fantasy 15's pre-order numbers. Which, I mean, Final Fantasy 15 was, I think, on every platform. Wasn't that one on Xbox too, day one? I mean, that probably helped it. But if anything, I think it's the fact that, at least in my opinion, Final Fantasy 15 wasn't that good. I didn't think it was that good anyway. Maybe you liked it. I mean, that's a possibility. Maybe I'm wrong here, but I didn't really like the game. It took too long to get going. I didn't really like the characters that much. To be honest, I think it's kind of a forgettable game. But we can take a look at the user scores, 7.7. And then the Xbox version is at a 7.9. So, I mean, they're not the worst. I mean, it's not the worst scores, but I don't think this game is going to go down as a big hit. So, either it's the sales orders are down because it's not on Xbox, or they're down because, I mean, honestly, let's be real. The past couple of Final Fantasies haven't been that good. I didn't even think Final Fantasy VII Remake was that impressive. Well, it wasn't even a complete, full, done game. It's a 3-part game, which I'm not a fan of, but whatever. So this is where we are at with Square Enix. According to a new rumor, there is some panic at Square Enix in regards to Final Fantasy 16. More specifically, Square Enix, according to this rumor, are slightly panicked about the pre-order numbers of the game, which is supposedly lower than Final Fantasy 15's pre-order numbers. The report comes by the way of industry insider Imran Khan, a source that has been proven reliable and unreliable in the past. So take that as well for what it is, but I could see them being a little edgy about this because, well, one, as they point out here, Final Fantasy VII Remake's sales were good at first, but they slowed down. A game got talked about pretty hard for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then nobody talked about it anymore. And personally, after playing 15 and 7 Remake and 13, I didn't like. I didn't play the online one. I know a lot of people love that one, but I'm going to be honest, the past couple of Final Fantasies have not been very good, at least in my opinion. I think the last one I really honestly liked was 11. And that one was like just okay. 10 was the last really good one, at least in my opinion. So I think the problem here is that the brand has just kind of lost a lot of its flavor. Now, this game actually has a lot of people hyped because it looks like it's somewhat like Game of Thrones. So maybe that will break the narrative on that and bring this game back up and sell really well. You really don't know until it comes out. But pre-order numbers are a big thing in this industry, and I wish they weren't, because this lets these people make shitty games, and they're always half the time broken. You pre-order it to become a beta tester at this point. You're just a beta tester. They don't need beta testers anymore because we'll do it for free. So it says here, I bring this up because I had heard recently that Square Enix was panicking slightly over Final Fantasy 16 pre-order numbers, which are tracking behind Final Fantasy 15, even accounting for the lesser number of launching platforms because it's not on Xbox. Why isn't it on Xbox? Why isn't it on everything? I understand these third-party exclusive deals. Is PlayStation shelling out more money for this to be an exclusive to their platform, even though it's not even truly an exclusive? Because from what I understand, it's going to be on PC as well. So they're saying here 16 months. I don't know. But I would hope they're at least getting a big check from that, because to me it's stupid to not be on everything. Unless you're Nintendo. Nintendo doesn't put anything on shit but their own system. But the other ones, it doesn't make any sense. Anyway, granted, those pre-order numbers, and those are pre-order numbers, and they're usually only useful to gauge guaranteed day one sales versus potential day one sales, so the actual number could blow everyone away. But with the current tracking, I wonder if they want to remind people the next chapter of Final Fantasy VII's remake trilogy exists and give it more marketing time than they had planned. The initial sales of Remake were quite good, but it slowed down faster than Square Enix seemed to expect, so I imagine they really want Rebirth to sell as well as possible. Well, of course they do, but I imagine they are really, really hoping for an uptick in sales. And then they point out here, is any it's true, who knows? That said, that doesn't mean the game's in trouble, and it doesn't. It could still be a massive, huge win for Square Enix. However, I don't think that I'm the only one that thinks that this series is nowhere near what it used to be, and that it could potentially face a problem if there's a lot more people like me out there that feel the same way. Because these games just, like I said, I don't think they've been that good. Not in a long time. So this could all pile up and lead to this game getting lesser numbers. Like, I'm going to wait to buy it and wait and see what people that I like say about it. Because if it's just another 14, I'm not interested. I thought 14 was shit. I'm not mentioning 15 because I think 15 is the online one. I don't like the last main Final Fantasy. So that online one or whatever it was, that's the one that I'm not talking about. I'm talking about the last single-player game. That one I thought was awful. The one where they had the car and you got to stop and have that mechanic fix it. I didn't like that game. In fact, I thought it was awful. Maybe you disagree with me, and that's fine, but I didn't care for it. So, Square Enix has taken a lot of L's lately. A lot of L's. Their name doesn't mean quality anymore. Used to. But, ever since the Enix got added to Square, I got to be honest, this company has been on a downward slope with a few bangers here and there, but for the most part, they just put out a lot of stinkers. Like that one game that everyone was making fun of that didn't sell. Had the Sorcerer Chick for Spoken. I think that's the name of it. That game was a massive L. And they've had a couple other L's. So, this isn't going to shock me if it fails, but I mean, this is a huge franchise, so it could still do well. And I think the trailer that they've shown, the couple of trailers for this game look good. So it could be a great game. We'll see. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think. Also, if you would, please comment below. What are your thoughts on all this? you looking forward to this game? Are you not? Let me know. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Make sure to check out my locals. There's a link in the description. It's a fun community that I'm trying to build over here. If you don't want to support me on YouTube, you can come over here. None of that money goes to YouTube. You also can just come over here for free. But if you are a supporter over here, I do plan on doing an extra live stream once a month and throwing links to the supporters so you can actually come on and have a supporter live stream with me. Also, it's a good place to catch all of my content. You don't have to worry about notifications like YouTube. They'll definitely work over here. So come check out my locals.